You're a broccoli. Okay, so I did a thing here. I did this. Disclaimer, if you mess up your game, that's not my fault. And of course, my character needs food. Gas and oil containers, stackSize modding. To change the crude oil, it's in that file name. It's on line 255, and you change just the number to 256. Same thing with gas, that's in a different file. Just the number. If it has a comma next to it, you leave the comma. The same thing with the gas container. I changed the gas container to 1280 because the gas container has 5 slots, and 256 times 5 is 1280. So, oh, and the thing is, the gas will stack immediately. Like you can stack the gas into 256 stacks, like as soon as you load the game, but any gas tanks that you had on any cars, you have to peel them off of the car and reattach them to the car in order for the changes to take effect. I'm leaving this up here for a little bit. I mean, you can pause the video if you want to mod your version of Scrap Mechanic, but yeah. And I probably should have tested the gas container thing before I did the video. Like, I tested the gas, so I could be wrong. I mean, I may have messed something up. So, like right now, since this gas can, like you can see how that stacks 100, but it splits it into stacks at 20. But what do we got? It's just connected to here. So if I peel this off and then put it back, it should take the 100, and it does. Nice. So I also changed the oil stacks, so if I pick all these up, stack at 200. But yeah, I'll post that thing again. I mean, again, I put it right in the beginning of the video, and if you want to see what files to change for your game and what line they're on, you just change the 20 to 256 and 256, and then for the gas container, you change it to 1280. And then you peel the gas can off your car and put it back, and yeah. You can do this in the regular Notepad on Windows. I like to use Notepad++. It's just a better program. But yeah, that's how you do this. And again, the disclaimer is if you mess up your game, that's not my fault. So now I don't have to worry about see, like, it'll stack in my inventory, but if you put it back, you have to peel off every gas can. I have to find a different spot for this button. So this button is connected to the AND gate and the back two thrusters. Okay, so you see the little red button. In this case, it's a yellow button. You see the little yellow button. Yeah, you said don't push that button. Well, push the little yellow button. And see, I don't want to put it on the... I guess I'll put it on the robot head. No, I'm gonna... I was thinking about putting pistons on the robot head to extend the gyro saw blades out more. Crap. Man, I'm happy that was as easy as it was. I guess I'll put it back here. I'm probably gonna forget that it's here. So the seat, oh crap, and now I got 6 other buttons in the way. How did I do this before? I think I just disconnected them in order. Ah, crap. It'd be nice if I could edit that. Like you could just decide what button stuff goes on. So if I disconnect one, and then reconnect one, and then disconnect two, and reconnect two, and then disconnect three, then reconnect three, and then disconnect. Crap. I think this is backwards now. Yeah, this isn't right. So that should be that, that should be that. This should be the controller. It's not. So 4, 5, and then 6. Controller, 5, 6. Alright, these are totally out of fuel. So now this is just connected to the engine, I think. Alright. Man, I'm so happy that was so easy to do that. So it won't work like this. Take the gas out, peel it off of the thing. Put it back on the thing. I'm pretty sure that was just connected to the engine. It was connected to that engine and this engine. Okay. So now when I put the gas back in, it should just go in a stack of 82. Hello. Hi. What I'm talking about is, you know how you can only fit 20 in a gas tank? Well, I changed that. And this is how I did that. And I don't expect you to read it all now, because you could just pause the video and read it later, but those are the files you change and the line number, and you change stack size for those in order to get a gas can that holds 1,280, and each stack of gas holds 256. So let me make this stack of 200, because I changed the oil, the gas, and the gas can. So now it should slowly make that into 200 fuel. But the thing is, in survival mode, if you have a car, this is survival mode, if you have a car that has a gas tank that already has gas in it and is connected to stuff, the change won't take effect until you pick it up and remove it from the car and put it back. So that's what I'm in the process of doing right now. So this one goes to that one. And I'm also out of fuel, so I have to go get fuel. And this one is just connected to this one, has no gas in it. Probably gonna mess this up again. I think that's right. Yeah. And this one goes to the front end. And this one, crap. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the thing that makes it so you can make a viable flyer in survival mode without, you know, cheating. I mean, it is still kind of cheating, but the limitations on how much gas that you can use, like, even if you get a totally working car that flies, then you're still gonna end up like running out of fuel, and there's not anything that you can do. It's not your fault that it ran out of fuel. You can't add a second gas container to it. You can't make the thruster consume less gas. And that's wrong. Crap. 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 You're a broccoli. I mean, I guess I may as well just peel it off of the thing here. And you don't need to download anything. You don't need to change anything but just that stack size number in those 3 files. And you can change other stack sizes too. But again, if you do and you mess up your game, it's not my fault. What I would recommend is before making any changes, which I do this myself, is before you make any changes, make sure that you copy your entire game folder to a backup folder. So then if you mess it up, you don't have to reinstall or delete stuff, or like... This one is connected to that one. And I could be wrong, because I'm in the process of testing it right now. Like, for all I know, like, as soon as I hit something, it's going to make it crash, you know, make the game crash or something, but I'm pretty sure it's right. Like, 95% sure that it's correct. That I shouldn't experience any unforeseen bugs here. So this one powers that one. This one powers that one. Can you give a shout out to your brother? Yeah. He really likes my streams. I mean, that's like a joke, but like, I mean, I don't know what to do. Like, see, the thing that worries me is if you're gonna do that kind of stuff, you're probably gonna do other stuff too, so, yeah. So this one is good. I think I changed all of them. There's no way that that thing went through 200 fuel already. I guess it did. So now I gotta go fill up that thing with oil. Nice, it works. It works right. Cool. No game freezing, no messed upness. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna exit, close scrap mechanic, run my backup thing. Restart scrap mechanic. What was I saying? Oh. I think it's pretty cool that it goes from the background image to like all of a sudden the guy starts moving again. But yeah. Is that a robot? I don't want to make survival too much easier or too much different. I mean, the only thing that I changed was those three things, and they kind of needed to be changed. Like everything else isn't too bad. Yerk, 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 yerk. Oops, I hit the cow. This thing is hard to aim, man. I mean, it's really just crap. Damn it. Yeah, I'm not hitting that robot, I guess. I finally, yeah, first try. Cool. Alright, I gotta disconnect this thing. I have so many gas cans. I didn't change the potato thing, which I probably should have changed the potato canister too. But nah, I kinda don't care, like. Should probably change these. But yeah, sorry to that dude that I had to mute before. I mean, I don't particularly like personally care, but I am kind of like responsible for the stuff that's said in the channel, so I know it's like not any fun. It makes me a big poopy nose, but I gotta do it. Sorry. You are a poopy. Does that have a gas can? No, it does. My poor craft bot is going to be doing nothing but making fuel. You know, and I even thought of that, like if you have the spare components and spare everything to make a crafting bot, like if you had a crafting bot, like the problem is that it won't run when you're not there. But you can make like a gas station by a crude oil thing, and you have like a vacuum pump hooked up to the crafting bot that always fills a chest full of crude oil, and the crafting bot does nothing but doesn't do anything but doesn't do anything but turn the crude oil into gas. I gotta check something here. Hold on. I'm not dropping any frames. Downloaded a new driver. Why is that doing that? For some reason it didn't set the thread priority the right way. I downloaded a new driver and it seems like it's running a little bit funny with OBS. Or not OBS, but with Scrap Mechanic. Like it seems like there's a frame drop every once in a while. But no, I guess it's fine. So I got that one. I got this one. Oops. I don't put it back. And then put it back. And there we go. And 76. That's all done. And what else? Those are all my gas cans. And now I gotta go get crude oil. Where's that switch at? Now I gotta move that switch. It's got 256 in it. Yeah, I should probably make a beacon. Nah, I think I need component kits for a beacon. And I just realized now that I kinda don't need all of these gas cans since I modded the stack. So the amount of fuel that can be 200 or whatever, the other number, it would snap to the normal amount. Well, I think what happens is the gas cans that are currently placed on the car, like when you place an object, I'm pretty sure that Scrap Mechanic reads the code for the placement of that object. And since that code doesn't get initialized, that doesn't get executed when you know, because it's already placed, it just runs off of the old version of the code. So when you pick it up and replace it, it rereads the file that's been changed and it updates it with the new values. Which I haven't actually looked at the code, you know, the engine or whatever, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works because that coincides with the behavior that you see. Like that would be a pretty decent explanation for as why that behavior occurs. Like, alright, I was making a beacon. Do I need component kits for a beacon? No. I need metal 2. I need embers. Which, I mean, I could probably do that to, like, all of the other stuff that stacks in low amounts, like component kits and everything that just stacks in low amounts. I could probably just change that stack size. But, I mean, see, that's what I was saying before I changed anything or before I ran a mod or anything, is I wanted to do it, like, purely to the spirit of the scrap mechanic vanilla, and I've kind of gotten to that point where I've done that. Like, I've cleared a warehouse, I went to the scrap city, I have a farm, I have all the seeds, have a vehicle that does everything, and then I hit a wall as far as limitations on how much gas you can store versus, you know, I'm trying to make a flying car in survival. But the thing that I had said, and it's true for me in like every game that I play, is like I'll do it completely legit vanilla, and then I'll cheat one time, I'll mod one thing one time, and then it goes from that one thing to, well, I might as well just change everything. Like I did the same thing with No Man's Sky. Is like I got to the point where I feel like I had done everything in No Man's Sky, and then I downloaded the save editor, and I modded everything. I turned every value on the ship and the freighter and everything else up to like complete maximum value. The thing about turning the ship up, the maneuverability up to like max value, is the physics engine is not made for values that high, so what ends up happening is, I forget what video it is, but what ends up happening is it goes so fast it hits the limit and it starts doing donuts. It starts just spinning around because it's going so fast that, like, I had to actually turn that down to make it a flyable ship again. I think my freighter jumps like 40,000 light years or whatever. I mean, it's like just out of like, just to see what it can do and just out of like boredom. Because again, I feel like I had beaten the game, and everything else from that point on would be like more of the same. So then I changed it. Okay, so let's, alright, beacon. I don't actually have ADD. And, you know, I'm not like, I don't like to say that because people do have ADD, and like some people get offended if you joke about it, but it kind of feels like I do have ADD sometimes. Loss of focus. The living god of terrible focus. And a radio. Put the circuit boards in here. Like, the other thing that I kind of like is everything in itself is its own aesthetic. Like, if you could just easily make a box and everything's stacked in like crazy high amounts to where you didn't have to find a solution for not having easy amounts of storage to stack stuff, then I wouldn't have never ended up with this, you know, like. And this, again, that's its own aesthetic, like playing like vanilla survival mode, like the easiest way to store parts is to just hang them on the wall. And it does kind of feel like a mechanic shop. Onion. The onion. So I did find a closer thing. Oops. The thing that I'm really considering doing is just modding in, like, you know, just crazy amounts of component kits. Because so far in the stream, I think I'm on, what, stream 34? So far up to this point, I've done everything legitimately. And there isn't really anything left for me to do in survival mode. Oh, crap. And I put in the work. I recorded everything that I did in the game. In case anybody ever calls that into question. Like, not that anybody would. I don't think that anybody would care, but I care. Like, in order to make one level 5 thruster in survival, that's 50 component kits. And I've got 6 of them on this thing. And that's 300 component kits. That I put in the time, like it took me probably like almost a week or more to get all the component kits, just farming them. Like, there's the oil spot. You know, I should probably replace these with pipes so it stops making that sound, because I'm pretty sure the blocks on the blocks spinning causes some kind of friction to happen. But yeah, that purple oil is really, really far away. You know, and then there's that is... I bet I could make a farm up here and make it so no robots could probably get up here. But I mean, that kind of feels like cheating. I mean, I guess that's something I could do. So let's make it oil. That one's purple. This one's closer, so I'm making it green. And now, it's probably going to take a full hour or something to fill up the whole oil container. Like, 2 hours later. Now look at that, it makes it so you can't put that button at. So it's like 1, 2, so it's about 10 every 2 seconds, so it's 5 a second. I mean, let's do some math here. I mean, 1, so is it 10 a second? 1, 2, so it's roughly 10 a second. So with it being 10 a second, let's so it's 1, 2, 3, so that's 10, that's 30. So it'd be 30 times 256. 256 times 30. That's 7,680 in a full thing, divided by 10 per second. That's 768 seconds, divided by 60. It's gonna take almost 13 minutes to fill up that whole box. What am I gonna do for 13 minutes? So we got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1280 times 7 containers. Yeah, so that one box converted into fuel is not even enough to fully fill up all my gas cans. Which I kind of don't need them all at this point. Like, I could probably just run the whole flyer off of maybe 2 gas cans, and that would reduce a bunch of the weight. And I should probably do that. I mean, again, it changes the whole everything. You change one thing and it changes everything. Oh, look at that. That's pretty cool. That's so funny. I start doing math and they panic. They run away. "12 hours later." Nah, what I'm gonna have to do for that is, I mean, I've got enough gas to mess around with testing for right now. I'm not gonna sit here for 12 minutes. What I have to do is come on, pick up the thing. Where's the mechanic station at? Yeah, what I gotta do is remove the gas cans and make 2 more vacuum pumps so that it fills 30 a second. Because then it'll cut the like 12, 13 minutes down into like 4 minutes. And that's manageable. I mean, that's not horrible. I mean, I just don't want to have 4 minutes of me just sitting there watching the cart. Sorry, cow. You know, I don't want to sit there for 15 minutes and then not doing anything. And like, you can't even set up something to fill itself and then come back, like... Oh, oops, I'm reading chat. Crash caused by chat. If you have 200 amount of oil, would it be possible or worth to fly a craft bot with that fuel on a loop? And presumable infinite fuel in the flyer? Usage rate, I mean, you know, that's a pretty good idea. If I understood what you said right, what you're talking about is attaching the craft bot to your car and then having a box that's full of oil being constantly converted into oil, and then have it output into the Can made the video. Yeah, I don't watch YouTubers. I mean, I don't watch a lot of YouTube. I don't watch a lot of streams. Like, I like to try to do everything like semi-blind playthrough-ish. Like, I'll do everything that I can think of only by me doing it. And then if I hit a wall, then I'll look something up. But if I do look it up and I do find somebody that has done something in a solution that I found, like, I will, you know, I will give credit to those people, like. But no, that's a really good idea, and I had never thought of that. Hooking the oil up to the craft bot, and then hooking that up to the gas can that runs all the flying stuff. That's a pretty good idea. I'd never thought of that. Yeah, thank you for mentioning that. The reason that I wouldn't do that personally is the craft bot weighs a ton. Like, I'm pretty sure I should be able to pick it up and place it back down, but it won't even tell me how much it weighs. Crap. Is that right? I think that's backwards. Yeah, there we go. No, that's a really good idea. But, again, like, unless you have infinite component kits, you know, kind of like survival or creative mode, then yeah, I mean, he weighs a ton, like, so, like, the amount of fuel that you'd be getting from him constantly converting the fuel versus the amount of fuel that those extra 6 thrusters is going to consume, then, I mean, like, my car really doesn't weigh that much, but it still takes 6 thrusters to get it up off the ground. So, again, my solution of upping the stack size to 256 for the base stack and then having 5 stacks of 256 in a gas can brings it up to 1,280. Means that I don't have to attach the craft bot to a thing, but in pure vanilla survival without changing any values, I mean, that's a really cool idea, but again, the amount of extra, like, just those 6 thrusters compared to the rate at which he creates it into the fuel, I mean, it kind of seems like it's not going to work, but this is going to work. I mean, it's going to work so well that I don't even need these gas cans anymore, is what I was saying before. But yeah, just to flash it up there on the screen for anybody that plays Scrap Mechanic and anybody that happens to watch my stream or watch a video, like, I don't really do the streamer thing. If you're new here, like, I don't do the streamer hype thing, because I kind of don't like it, but this is more like a live recording. You know, it's basically like I'm just some dude that plays video games, and I don't want to, you know, I don't want to be a streamer. But this is the way that you do that. I don't expect you to read it all and process it all like right now, but you can pause the video and read it if you did want to change it. So. And I mean, that's already more than 10 times the amount of fuel that you can store in one gas can. And see, I don't want to take any weight off the back end, because then I'll have to rebalance the car. Like, I have so much thrust on this thing as it is that, like, I'm probably going to have to add a stone block to weight it all down, like. I mean, I'm kind of tempted to just try to run it with just the one gas can. I mean, I might have to reapply these because the gas can might hit its limit on connection. But I mean, even if I just ran it off of 2 gas cans, but all of that weight being gone from all of those gas cans, because the gas can weighs a pretty decent amount, like. What that means is now I could probably just, now it's probably just going to scream up straight into the sky, like, because it kind of barely gained a little bit of lift at a time now. Or, not now, but previously. Womp, womp, womp. Derp, 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 derp. And I accidentally made a revival baguette, even though I don't have anybody on the server. I guess I'll just stash this back here. And then in a while, when it starts to go bad, I'll be like, what is that smell? And you go back and you look at the survival baguette that, well, the thing that used to be the survival baguette, or revival baguette, and it's looking back at you. Like, hey buddy, how's it going? Yeah. Jokes. Terrible, terrible jokes. Yeah, I mean, that's like, that's what I mean by the aesthetic of the game. Like, everything is unique unto itself. And if you change even one thing, like, you can even bring that far out as into like, and it seems philosophical of the thing I'm about to say, but it's not philosophical as it is literally applicable. If you had like alternate universes, right? If you had alternate universes and you changed even a single grain of sand between the two, absolutely everything else in the infinite universes is the same except for that one single grain of sand, right? Well, everything that grain of sand affects throughout time is gonna cause subsequent changes for the entirety of the universe. So it's not one universe with one grain of sand that's different. It's its own unique entity. I mean, I know we went from like talking about seed wall to like, you know, alternate universes, but the principle is still the same. Like, if you change any aspect of like the stack limit on seeds, which I should probably do that, but like you said, it looks pretty cool. It's like almost like art, and that's what I was talking about with the aesthetic before, is if I removed that limitation, I could have every type of seed all just in one stack, or just a handful of stacks, and it wouldn't look as cool as it looks now. Like, this is a solution to that limitation. And if you remove that limitation, then you no longer have a reason to do it that way. Yeah, and if you think it's bad listening to me, just imagine what it's like in my head. But yeah. A little bit of a bottleneck in the things going through my head compared to my ability to express them sometimes. They're gonna fall off. Alright, so I'm having a brain fart here. What's I doing? Oh, I gotta connect the gas can. Now, I might hit the connections limit on the gas can. So that's this one, that one, and this one. And these front two. And then if I have to, I can always just add more gas cans. I mean, I'm probably going to have to add more gas cans, but just for right now, just having the one is going to be good enough. Good enough for testing anyway. And then there's that, is I should probably think ahead and run half off of one and half off the other. Because if you add the gas can, it's going to change the whole weight of the car, and then I'll have to rebalance the whole weight of it, but kind of don't care right now. Like, I mean, I just did the math in my head, like a stack of 20 crude oil, and that's 30 slots times 20 is what, 600? I would only have 600, and these 4 stacks is already more than that entire case of oil. And I'm so thrilled that it was just so easy to change that. Like, now, see, we have a problem. Why is it not registering that I have fuel in there? It must not be connected to the thing. There we go. Initiating panic mode. Yeah, I should have probably changed the chemicals too. But I hardly use the chemicals. About the only use that I really found for chemicals is making concrete. I don't really need any concrete right now. Well, concrete and batteries. Oh, check out my glow bug farm. The glow bugs despawned on me. That was a while ago, but this works. You stick the glow bug in here, you put cardboard in the box, you hit the switch, which powers the wheel that's on a controller on a loop, and each one of these, every time it hits the sensor, it triggers both of these vacuum pumps. So it places a cardboard, and for whatever reason, the glow bug always poops to the east, so it poops and it goes in an arc and lands here and it gets collected. So I don't have to sit there and keep feeding the glow bug cardboard. Yeah, I mean, every game knows everything as far as what happens in the game, but there's nothing that happens in any code or any program that isn't within the limitations or exceptions of said code. There's probably a file that has crafting times in it too, so I need this, and I need to make another vacuum pump, so I need beeswax. How many did I need? I need 5. I'm pretty sure that you're new here, so I'll give you like the quick tour while that's crafting fuel. This is my 80 by 80 or 9 by 9 garden, which you remove the center block and you put the piston here, and you hook the top bearing up to a controller, and you have an easily accessible, defendable garden. I wouldn't recommend doing it with a high value crop because tape bots will spawn and snipe you off of the seat, but for like low level crops it's great. I found out about tape bots spawning the hard way because that's the fun of doing stuff like semi-blind playthrough-ish, is like it allows for unexpected things to happen. Like, you know, I think I just planted my first pineapples and my first broccoli that I had ever gotten, and I didn't think anything different of it, right? And freaking, I was wrong. Instead of this thing, I had a crow's nest. I just had a bed and a seat that controlled the switch for the garden. And each row down there is 20. So I know if I grab a stack of seeds, it's going to fill up one row, and I've got 10 rows, so it's 200 plants. It's got a liner of concrete on the outside and wood one on the middle and regular wood on the beginning because I didn't have the stuff to make the concrete when I first built the garden. And I got all the dirt from the very first warehouse I ever cleared, and I needed something to do with it, so I figured I would do this. But those spinner arms work pretty great. So I was sitting up here in the crow's nest, and I had broccoli and pineapples down there along with the whole rest of everything else, you know, low level stuff. And I got two-shot and died immediately. And I panicked. I was like, what just killed me? And then I see tape fly over my head, and like a freaking tape bot spawn. But thankfully my bed was in the crow's nest and I just respawned, and my bag didn't go anywhere, so I grabbed some potatoes and sniped them with the freaking thing there, the spud gun. This is one of my favorite things that I conceived and built in the in this playthrough. And this playthrough is different in that every other time I've ever played the game, I've played it with people that were on the server with me. And I don't like to mess around with worlds and stuff where I have other people playing in case they ever come back. People use tier 3 metal. Oh yeah. I mean, you don't really need to use metal if the robots can't get to the walls. But, hello, Jose. Hi. But this playthrough has been just mine, and it's nice to not have to worry about what other people want to do or trying to work with other people or worry about if they're gonna decide not to play anymore. But this is my water bot, and it's a controller that spins the wheel that hits the sensor that triggers this, and this is an AND gate and an XOR gate, and the XOR gate is hooked up to the filling switch, and the AND gate is hooked up to the watering switch. I added a seat to it because there's a slight like angle to this as it slopes toward the ocean or toward the lake. So what ends up happening is if you set it in the middle 3, it'll water all 3. Sometimes it waters 4, but it's too inconsistent to water 4. So as it progresses along the thing, it kind of drives sideways. But this is the easiest solution that I found to watering the garden. This is hooked up to the AND gate, so now when, so like if the AND gate is off and you hit go, it just drives. You see how it's like, it's slowly going to its right? That's not because it's off-centered so much as it's both off-centered relative to the squares and the geometry of the slope there. So let's hit the reverse button. It also fills triple fast because, yeah. And it started out as a water bot, but it ended up being a utility bot because I just take this case and swap it out for the water case, and then I can quickly harvest an entire crop with it too. You can use it to plant seeds, but it does waste seeds if it fires out a seed over an already planted crop. Which, I mean, I have so many excess seeds I shouldn't care about it, but I don't like to waste anything. So I like to plant everything by hand. But, yeah. And you can see how, like, I set it in the middle, and just because of the slope going back and forth, it didn't come back to the same spot. Like, but you can leave it and have it be automated. And it'll go because the controller is set to stop. And it just happened to work out that when it hits the wall, it scrubs a little bit and then it stops. Ta-da! And then you pick it up and you put the center wheel into the next three. And like, you don't have to drive it, alright? And then you hit the AND gate and it shuts off. Make sure I get this one over here. And the fill button also acts as a single trigger too. That was an unintended happy bonus. And as long as you keep the robot head in the center square that you're trying to water, by steering left and right a little bit, it'll water all three consistently. So 3, 6, would this one be 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, it should go here. With as many times as I've done this, I still forget. That's not gonna get those. Oh, and it doesn't eat up any gas. Not really a great demonstration. And it's out of gas, or out of water. The reason for the XOR gate is for the filling switch, which is also turned out to be the manual switch because without the XOR gate hooked up to it, I would have to, and I did have to, unwire all 3 vacuum pumps. And unwire them from the sensor and rewire them to the sensor every time. And entire box of water done. See how it leans because of the freaking thing. Oh, I gotta hit these. Yeah, this is my packaging trailer. I weld that to the back of the car, the thing with the wheels. That's for getting farmers. This is for catching cows. You lower it down from the front of the car. They're all front end attachments, except for that's a back end attachment. Still making gas. I might have to make another craft pot just to make gas. Zelda's secret sound. I mean, I should probably do some potatoes. So I still have to fill up the potato canister. Oh, something's screwed up here. Alright. Yeah, see, now it just jumps right up off the ground. Oh, no. Look out, cow. I don't think that's close enough to get the cow in the pen. Any corn on me? No. What's up, cow? I'm gonna name you Speed Bump. Come on, Speed Bump. Good job, Speed Bump. Excellent work. Yeah, I think something's busted here. I don't know why, but yeah, their math must be messed up. It's only ever going to indicate that it's on low fuel, I guess. I don't think they ever accounted for it having, you know, X amount of thousands of fuel in it. Like a glove. Do the cows despawn? Sometimes they despawn, but I mean, I kind of don't care if they do because, I mean, most of the time they just stay there. And the odd thing about that is it kind of gave me the idea to make a robot trap or a robot defense for your farm. I'm not sure how the aggro is going to work, but the thing that I noticed happens is the robots get distracted. The same way that the cows are permanently trying to get the corn that they can't get to, any robots that run past them, they stand right under the thing and then they're stuck there. And I haven't tested it, but I'm pretty sure you could just mash them. I'm pretty sure that you could do that. Like, you just run over and hit the switch and freaking just mash. Like that just occurred to me now to mash the. But as far as the garden defense thing goes, like if you put a cow up above where the spinners are, I'm not sure if the robots would get distracted by the cow or the garden. You know, I'm not sure how their behavior goes. Hi. I've been muted this whole time. I've been talking. I didn't realize I was muted. My bad. Hi, how's it going? It would be cool if they added the center of mass and thrust like trail makers. I've never heard of or played trail makers. It could be a great game, but you're right about the concept of the about that. But the reason I've got the saw blades on here is they're all spinning in opposite directions relative to each other. And they do add gyroscopic stabilization. I have a video in creative mode of testing a flying car, and they do that. So this is an off mode. In an off mode, so in on mode, I want it to lift up, so these have to go, what, forward more? No, that's not right. Okay, so that's straight down. And the forward one in on mode, everything is supposed to be straight down in on mode, and then in off mode, I kind of want the stuff to point forward. So let's see how that works. Like a glove. Yeah, I'm gonna have to upgrade that controller to make it turn faster. Hmm. And I kind of want to like design it around only being one button. I mean, yes, I know that I could make these individual controllers like to control the pitch mid-air. Like I do understand that I can do that, but I kind of don't wanna. So, what it looks like in off mode is this is not right. And the other thing that I should probably do is these are facing backward. And I want them to be facing down because it's getting kind of confusing to have those things be in opposite to not be the same thing. Like, so if I remove this and then add that and re-weld it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then one on the existing block. Crap. Yeah, I forgot about the piston too. Or the bearing. Right. No. That's not right either. 2 hours later. Yeah, and these need to be switched. Dead. And the reason that I have it, the different modes, is I kind of like to use these as drift boosters to like drift the back end of the car around, and also use it to you know, can you hook an AND gate, a logic gate up to a controller? Because if I had 2 controllers, I could put 2 different modes on this. If I did that right. Like if I had an AND gate hooked up to a switch and the controller, it would only execute 1 controller at a time, but that would mean that I would need 2 sets of bearings on the rotational arm of the thrusters. The never-ending quest for my stapler. like drift, then it goes into drift mode. Yeah, I don't know how long I was muted for. I just found a simpler solution. If 0 mode is liftoff mode, and then when I hit the 4 button and it activates the controller, I can also use liftoff mode for the thrusters to make it go forward, and to make it so like the thrusters so I was at a 45. So let's just test that now. So like this should just lift it straight up off the ground. Now see, that's so weird. It's so weird that it causes the front end to lift because these are rotating forward. I mean, are they not facing forward enough? Let's try that. I made it do a flip like a glove. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. That means that I do need the front thrusters to be rotating at the same time, pointing forward too. Like, that's so weird. It's so strange that the force of the rotating thrusters rotates the whole front end of the car around, instead of just pushing them forward. I mean, I guess there's gonna have to be a break in the thrust. Like I raise it up high enough and then stop hitting the button and hit the 4 button, and then when the thrusters are rotated back around, then I push go. Because trying to do it while it's going, that's kind of not happening. It's just flipping the whole front end of the car around. Did I get it stuck in the ground? I managed to get it stuck in the ground. Look out, cows! So let's have that do the same thing then. So in go mode, is it gonna clip on anything over here? Gonna break anything? No, I got lucky. Okay. Look out, cow! And the reason that I'm not testing it on the road is not by mistake. Because I want to be able to lift off and fly from, you know, survival terrain and not like creative mode flat terrain. Little too light. I'm pretty sure it's the angle. Like once I get the angle just right of where the thrusters are at the right angle versus the momentum of the car mid-air. I'm thinking maybe if I take the on mode and instead of having it be at 90, because now it's going forward too much in the front end and not giving enough lift, so let's try and bring it back 15 degrees so it's still kind of pointing down. Because that almost worked. These freaking robots. I mean, maybe if I make a match, and this is why I bothered to take the whole thing apart and rewire everything so that the angles on the controller match front end and back end. So now these need, the front end looks like it needs to be pointing down a little bit more. Oops. Had an oh look cows moment. And see, that makes it flip over. So tapping the thruster or tapping the controller seems to make it equate to doing what I wanted to do. This works pretty well. The straight down mode works pretty well. So the thing that needs work is this. Like, I think that makes it flip over everything at 30. Look out, cows. Poor cows having to put up with this. Now that seems better. I mean, I'm not pretty sure the angle is a little too steep now. And it also does kind of seem to help if I get a little bit of a running start and have some forward momentum. Look out, tree. Coming through. Yeah, I was doing testing in like the very first stream where I got all 6 thrusters and chopped off the top of a few trees, the top of them. I'm not sure what is the issue here. I mean, I keep looking over at the chat and saying it's too light, but I mean, if it was any heavier, then I would need it, you know, I'd need more thrust to get it up off the ground, is my thinking. Like, so I think this, if I reduce this by a little bit, put each one at 30. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm gonna get this unstuck here. Why would you do this to me, Cookbot? Yeah, I suppose that's about as good a reason as any. Perfect. Trees. You know, this kind of does what I want it to do. Kind of. I'm getting closer to, like, because I don't really want a controllable flyer. I just want something for survival that gets me up in the air and propels me like a missile in the direction that I want to go. And you know what's controlling it right now is I keep swapping the controller mid-air to kind of change the angle, and it seems to be working. It's nowhere near what I want it to do, but compared to the first few test flights, like, that's why I like my creative streams, is you can see me go through every stage of trying to figure out why something isn't working. Like, Starting from the very basics, like my gyro flyer. You're a broccoli. I mean, my gyro flyer is also pretty much a missile that you just... You know what? Tapping the 4 button, this kind of works. I just kind of have to know how to fly the thing. But see, once it gets to this point and it starts to tip over, there's not anything I can do about it. No, but I have set out to do what I want to do. The thing that would probably help it propel itself forward is one more thruster on the back. Because that one thruster on the back would probably be enough to do the thing. I also need to replace the gyros. Like, the gyros that I have kind of work, but the ones that I put on my other flyer work a lot better. And what they are is basically a bearing with a pipe arm on it, and it's got concrete 3 blocks offset, so they spin around in a circle. I mean, I could just show you, like, so the thing that I want to try now is bird. Yeah, my buddy that started playing with this, or started me playing this game, he would always put his base on the top of this thing. Because he was afraid of the robots getting his stuff, but the robots don't care about your stuff unless, like, you're on the stuff that they're trying to get, like. Let me get some stone blocks, though. The other part of it is learning to fly the thing and learning to do, get it to do the thing that you want it to do. Like, so 30 works pretty good all the way down. I mean, I'm not sure how much 15 is going to do. I think 15 is not going to be enough forward thrust. But, and see, I don't want to change more than one thing at a time, because if I do, then I won't know if it's the one thing that caused something to work better than the other thing, or... So I guess I can put a stone block here. I should do this on the lift so that it's even. I'm gonna try to put counterweights on the saw blades, so this might be a horrible idea. Or it might give me the stabilization that I need, but the only way to be sure is to test it. Oh crap. And I finally ran out of fuel. Yeah, what it's looking like is I'm just gonna have to control the front and the back independently, or use a I'm gonna run out of gas trying to get gas. Or use a second controller and hit the second controller to make them rotate opposite. I mean, that's probably going to be the solution. I mean, if I had an AND gate hooked up, could I make the two controllers operate using logic with just one switch? Like, so when I hit the one switch, well, say I don't want that. I want 3 different modes, or 4 different modes, really. So that did seem to be running kind of well, but I think I'm totally out of gas and totally out of oil. Now I got enough gas to get out there. And this whole time I've kind of been fighting having to go pee. But it's starting to, oops. Starting to win. So I kind of have to go take care of that. And I've been going for 2 hours. So I think that I'm going to call it a stream. Because I'm getting kind of frustrated. I mean, I've made a lot of progress, especially with having the extra fuel and the extra flight time. But I'm getting frustrated a little bit. I mean, just so much of having it seem like it's gonna work, and then it hits a point where it just decides that it's not gonna work. But yeah, I'm calling it a stream here. I'm gonna play the Zelda sound. And yeah. Thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing. I'm clicking the button right now.